Oh, there it is. That's awesome. Jose, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, Kyle. I'm fine.
That's good.
I'm kind of nervous for this interview, but I was looking forward to it.
Nothing to be nervous about, man. But just two architecture people having a chat.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no, this is great. So before we dive into the project that I'm sure everyone's really keen to hear about and about how you made it and all that kind of stuff, can you tell us a bit about yourself? What's your name and who are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jose Maria Alania. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Lima, Peru. Actually, I was born in Callao, but I live in Lima now, and I'm studying here. I'm in my last semester of architecture, so in my fifth year. I was going to end my career this July, but for the COVID-19 issue, I don't know that yet. When do we have?
Did you say so? You're in your final year. I also saw on your Instagram page I don't know if it's you've got your own firm or something like that. You're working on some of your own projects. Is that I don't know, interior design studio or something like that? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I created ODAE with my best friend Kelly Cruz. It stands for Office of Development of Architecture and Aesthetics. And yeah, we used to do interior design projects like industrial design for some firms, some events. I also participate in the Salone del Mobile in Milano with another project, mostly art slash sculpture. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. So how are you finding it working, doing work on the side as well as studying? Is that really hard to do?
So I started working for a firm when I was in my first year of architecture, I guess. Yeah, it was a summer job, an internship. It was hard at the beginning, and because I actually didn't know that much about interior design. I was all about architecture, but it was so much fun, and I learned a lot in just a short period of time. Then I worked for another firm that is mostly architecture, and there was like so much hard work to do until late night, and you also sometimes have to bring your work at home and keep doing it to just be sure be on date. It's a very tough job.
Yeah, it definitely is. What are some of your biggest challenges that you've been faced with when working for someone else while studying as well?
Working with other people is difficult because you have so many different ideas, and sometimes your leader has to take in all the ideas and make the best of them. And sometimes you just need to be a good minion and do what they tell you to do, especially when you are like in the second year and the third year. You have to listen the other people.
Yeah.
And at work, it's pretty much the same, with so much respect and kind of fear for your boss. But I guess it's just the same.
Yeah. How did you go about getting that internship you mentioned earlier? Is that something you're still going through with now? Are you still working for that same firm or is that something different?
No, I'm currently not working in any firm.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own things,
Yeah.
my own projects. And to get that internship, oh my God, in that third year, I was so desperate because I want to get a job. I want to be like a useful resource. And I thought I was really employable,
Mm.
but I guess I didn't because I sent my CV like every single to every single firm, but they actually didn't reply until now, like
Wow.
almost 3 years. I got that internship because of my brother. He asked another friend if he can get me an interview.
Wow.
So when the architect saw my CV, she made an interview, an appointment with me, and well, the process was very short. I guess was 2 3 days, maybe a week,
Mm.
for the wait, especially. I guess I did well because I got a job.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning, I was doing the portfolio of this firm because they didn't have it, and there was like 8 years of work that I have to review and put them in layouts for a big portfolio. And they give me 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I guess, to
Yeah.
do that. And
Wow.
actually, that worked pretty well because when a new client came to the studio, they showed the portfolio and they just asked me to change this, change that, we need to improve this, and add this, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah. Was that internship, was that something you had to do for your uni, or was that just something you decided to do on the side?
Well, I have to do for my uni before I get my bachelor degree, but I wanted to do it like as soon as I can because I think I was anxious to get into the into the job.
Yeah, because that's interesting. In Australia, you don't have to do any any kind of internship or anything for your bachelor's. So that's kind of just something we have to do on the side. But that's really interesting. You have to do an internship.
Yeah, I mean, before this job, I got another one in Florida in USA, but it
Wow.
was for advertising restaurants, mostly graphic design. And I was a graphic designer junior in this company, Platinum Cost Publishing. Yeah, it was pretty much design layouts for this book that sells advertising to tourists in hotels. It was a pretty good idea, and it was the first time I saw something like that, and it was kind of fun to get into this job because it was totally different than I was expected. And that's when I get to improve my English because I was there for like 5 months, and then I came here again and work from home.
Wow. So you really do have like a mix of interior design, architecture, graphic design. That's really cool.
Yeah, also industrial design. I design I guess it was like a chandelier with a pretty cool concept. I guess it was based on the Oculus and the mechanism that has the camera inside that close pretty well, so you can choose the intensity of the light and like a dimer.
Wow, that's
It was
cool.
pretty fun to do it.
Oh yeah. So everyone's probably wanting to get into this project of yours because when I first saw this, I was blown away. Like, wow, like seriously, I'd never seen anything like this done before. And it's not just me. Like
Me
when I
either.
post, yeah, exactly. But like when I posted this on like Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and everything, like it just blows up because everyone seriously loves it. Can you tell us what the project brief was for that project?
I can show you the project is right here.
Let's see it. Awesome. Yeah, I love it.
And so the project was hybrid building, and there has a shopping center and a park, and in the first floor a park, then a shopping center, then there was another park, and then offices, apartments, and yeah, that's it.
Cool.
So it was like a pretty big building. I have to do 3 models for that product. One in 150, no, 500. This one 125, and the other one was 100 scales.
Wait, so there are more models of this one?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Do you have them there? Like, can we see them?
No, I don't have them. This is the only
Oh.
one I took away because the other one, the 100, it was so big. I didn't
Yeah.
want to bring it home. And
Did you use the same style as you did for this one here?
no, the other one was also a section, but it wasn't on scored acrylic, so I guess it was different.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, sorry, continue. I kind of butted in there. I'm excited.
And about this one, about this project, well, it's a triplex, an apartment that we wanted to show the construction details. So as you can see here, and also here,
That's so cool.
you can see all the things that has inside triplex, and this was in steel. Yeah, pretty much was all about steel. I was so obsessed with the material, and I do the whole structure in steel.
Wow.
The process of doing this model was so much fun because it was like kind of bringing back to my childhood when I was to play with boxes and made a lot of cities because I didn't have Legos when I was 4. So I used what
Wow.
I had. And so when I built the model, I did it with my sister, while singing and dancing around the house.
Yeah,
And we were chatting a lot, but it was pretty fun.
that's awesome. Can you talk us through the materials you used for this project here, for the model, and then how they represent the real life materials as well? That'd be cool.
For the model, I use cardboard for the structure. Actually, for mostly everything,
Yeah.
because I use it for the structure, for the furniture, the stairs, um, yeah, the walls, everything. Everything is in cardboard. I wanted to do it monochromatic, and I was intent to do it white, but I remember when I scored on acrylic before, and the score looks white, so you wouldn't pop up
Yeah.
as I wanted to do. So I chose to do it like beige. It's kind of beige. The score acrylic, actually, it wasn't like the idea was mine. It was my teacher's idea. He asked everybody to do the same model with two scored acrylic. Mine was pretty into the details, so I guess it went well.
Yeah.
And also the time was really short for everybody when you have to manage their time to do such a big project with all your courses, and I mean your classes, your exams, and you have to do pre-models, like mm, about 30 to 40
Wow.
blue papers, and I mean you have a lot to do, also the rendering and the post-production. So you have to choose where you want to focus. And after all my experience in interior design, I just wanted to show what I can do
That's cool.
as an interior designer.
The
Yeah, that's
floorboards
it.
in that as well, they were, I saw in the video that I posted, it's it looks like timber, but did you say that was cardboard? How'd you do that?
Ah, okay. The floor is in timber.
Yeah. Okay. So that's actual timber, is it?
Yep.
Ah, that's cool. So that glass screen, I guess everyone would be wondering how you managed to do that. So in my opinion, that's probably like the key feature of the project. So I'm sure everyone's wondering how you did it. Can you first kind of explain the inspiration behind that, how that came up and what decided, like how did you decide that that is something you wanted to do?
I just wanted to show the detail of the sections we did for this project. I know many people might wonder how I came up with this, but as I told you, it was my teacher's idea,
Yeah.
and everybody have to do it. I guess what was different to the other ones was the level of the details. It took me a while to do the cut for the score because it's laser cutting. It was mostly delete lines, because if you pay attention really close to the score acrylic, you will see that it's actually my blueprint that I presented.
Ah,
It was my sections. I did 4 sections for this model, and I did the project in Revit, and I exported to CAD, and then I did I did my thing
yeah.
to do the laser cut.
Do you just like, so you cut it in Revit and then you get the elevation or the section cut from Revit and you put it into AutoCAD so you get all the lines and then
Uh-huh.
you use that in the like you I don't know how really laser cutters work because I haven't used one myself. I've done a bit of 3D printing and stuff, but so the laser cutter, is it just takes that section from AutoCAD and then prints it onto the acrylic and it kind of just scores it?
Yeah, the laser cut. It depends how much power you put into the laser, and you can score and you can cut. After I discovered my third year, I guess, laser score, I wanted to do something like this, but I really hadn't the opportunity, I guess,
Yeah.
to do it. And it's actually pretty easy as soon as you realize how it's done.
Mm.
And actually, I didn't do extra work because it was from my blueprints that I already had to do it for my project. So I just delete lines and put everything I needed to show on the laser score. It wasn't actually that expensive because people see this model and they think that it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of time. And as I told you, this was a pretty fun model to do with my sister while singing, dancing around the house. And also, it wasn't that expensive as many people can think. And the furniture, it was also in cardboard. Actually, it was also laser scored, but on cardboard, and I cut them with scissors.
That's cool. You said it didn't take too long. Do you know a rough estimate? How long did it actually take to make the model? I guess in hours. How many hours did it take?
I mean, it took me 3 days, but I mean, it wasn't like 3 complete days.
Yeah.
I was because it was my my last week before the final presentation, so I
Wow.
had to do 3 models in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And
Not long.
yeah, I guess this one could be done in just 1 day, but I guess 8 hours.
Wow.
But you have to do it. I mean, you have to get your piece done before and just put them all together.
Yeah, it's all about that preparation before actually getting through it. Do you have some general tips for someone who's inspired by your design? Do you have any, just general advice for someone who wants to do something like this?
First of all, you have to think of the scale of the project because I mean, this one worked pretty well because the scale was like pretty big. It's almost like Barbie's house.
Yeah.
So it's so much big that you can see everything in the structure, and it looks pretty cool when you see it. And I don't think it works for big projects. At least you wanted to show just little things or little parts. I mean, you can have a really big project in short scale, but I guess you can show just a section apart in square acrylic. It will work pretty well. Also, you have to think of the materials. I mean, you have to think everything the sooner better.
Yeah.
Because putting everything together is the thing that is going to take more time than also just get it done.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think of the material, the time, and where you are going to get the materials. Also, you have to think about the economics because, I mean, it doesn't take too much money to do things like this. You have to think also about that, not use the laser cut for everything. You can use your scissors.
Yeah. You had this acrylic screen over it. How did you manage to keep that up and attach it? Is it just attached to the like a curtain wall, or is it separate to the actual design? Does that make sense?
No, it's attached to the model. I was actually so much worried about that too, and many people was asking. I mean, were asking for that question. Also, how did I manage to do it so clean without any glue mark?
Yeah.
And I guess it was all my sister and the cleaning because she was so much careful about that.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to do everything in time, so I was just cut paper, cut glue. And I wanted to finish just as soon as I can. But she was like really perfectionist about the gluing everything together. It actually didn't show that much glue. You really need to like put an eye so close to see the glue. And I mean, it's just practice, I guess, or being just so much careful like my sister.
Having the time to actually take your time with it and be careful with it.
Yeah, I mean, because the structure wasn't easy because I mean, as you can see here, you don't have anything to bring the model all together. So when I put it in front of me on the table, they just follow down.
Yeah.
The scarlet also was useful to get the structure more solid.
Nice. And what glue did you use for it? Because you can't really see any glue marks or anything. It's really cool.
What glue did I use?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, just like normal craft glue.
No. Well, I mean, I didn't have any other glue, so I used what I had.
Yeah,
No.
no, that's awesome. You don't need anything fancy. Everyone might be thinking like, wow, Jose's work is perfect and he's so good at architecture, which he is. But to remind people that you're human, what do you think was one of the biggest mistakes you made in architecture school?
Oh, biggest mistakes. Get so much stress because of the concept and the design and not get the work done like quickly. You have to move like really quick with your ideas, get it done, do the whole process with your teacher. I guess my bigger mistake was that not paying attention to my teacher's advice. Just trying to focus on just one idea and just improve that idea as much as you can.
And so this is something I ask every guest. So what do you think is the most important thing to know as an architecture student? Very
Mental
open-ended.
health is an issue.
Yeah.
You really have to pay attention to your mental health and being organized with your time, with your classes, with everything. You have to put an order in your life, and as a student, it will be so helpful.
Yeah. Awesome.
And you have also know that you have to be so proactive because they aren't going to teach you how to do things. They are not going to teach you how to do models, not going to teach you to use programs such as Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, or whatever they ask you to do, but they just suppose you know everything.
Okay, so lastly, where can people get in contact with you or follow you if they want to continue with your journey?
With my journey. They can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's actually the only social media I use nowadays. Logori 96.
Jose, that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing us all your ideas and how you did it. I think a lot of students are going to find that super helpful. All right, man, I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.